Good evening, everyone. I am Jessica Mauderer. I'm excited to be with you tonight from the beautiful state of Kansas. I live in Kansas City, suburb of Kansas City, in a town called Olathe. The temperature has drastically dropped today. We've gone from about 65 to about 35 in just a matter of hours. So it's still winter here. So I'm so glad I'm with you tonight. I know for some of you may be good morning, for some of you maybe good afternoon, or maybe good evening, depending where you're joining us from around the world. We are part of an international company and platform. So I'm so blessed to be with you tonight. I'm going to start off with sharing my screen and sharing a brief video with you. So give me just 1 second while I start that video.
In the last 3 years, we have seen unprecedented changes in society. These changes challenge every major paradigm that has shaped our lives, nations, cultures, and communities. It is during times like these that we turn inward for truth. I too began to question the meaning of my existence and the meaning of success. Often, through these quiet, contemplative reflections, we come to find our purpose, our giftings, and even, as some would say, our calling in life. I choose to use my gifts in the service of goodness for the collective. After spending nearly 3 decades in the world of direct marketing, I have witnessed a broad spectrum of changes in our industry. Having built a global organization that generated billions of dollars in sales, I have learned invaluable lessons in business and in life. I have been called to start a project that honors 2 words: love and contribution. I am building a global community that is focused on the well-being of everyone around us, physically, financially, and spiritually. With that said, get ready, for you're about to be a part of something meaningful, fun, and genuinely profound. It is time to get excited and rise to the calling of something far greater than what has been.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. As I mentioned, I'm Jessica Mauderer. I live in Kansas City. I am so excited to share with you the 3 movement. For those of you that don't know about 3 yet, we're part of a movement that is international. We're a global movement across the world in 14 countries, getting ready to launch in another part of the world that actually makes up 1/3 of our entire world's global population. So very exciting. I am married to my husband, Brad. We have 2 amazing daughters, Madison, who's 7.5, and Paisley, that's 5.5. I have a bachelor in finance and banking. I come from a family of working parents. My dad was an entrepreneur. My parents, were always very hardworking. In July of 2014, a friend of mine had shared with me some products that she was using in the space of network marketing. And so I started using those products. I started having results. And that's really what started my network marketing venture and social e-commerce. So July of 2014. So it's going to be about 10 years here very soon. I experienced 2 years of infertility. And with that, when my daughter Madison was born, I had this shift in my brain. I literally shifted my heart. I wanted nothing more than to stay home with her. I had the pleasure of having this industry be a part of my life at the time that I needed the most. After actually being fired from corporate America, I decided to take a leap of faith and begin my journey in network marketing and social e-commerce full time. I'm also an author. I wrote my very first book, had it published. I also do podcasts, social media. If you ever follow me on social media, I'm on all the social media channels. But it really comes down to my why. So my why is to help empower freedom. That's helping people live an abundant life, whether that's time freedom, financial freedom, having the ability to travel around the world, being able to give freely to people and also to important causes to them. I have had the pleasure of earning 5 trips in this industry. I love taking my daughters and my husband on trips because those types of experiences were not available to me as a child. And so this is something that's very big of a passion of mine. I want to impact people across the world. So maybe you're tuning in from the United States, but maybe you're tuning in from another country. And I'm here to just make a difference in your life. So I've seen these products in this company, 3 in this platform, impact people and also people on my team and in this community. And so that's why I stand behind this. This is, I could literally go out and do anything I could possibly want to do right now. My kids are back in school. I have a kindergartner, I have a second grader. I could go do anything. But I chose this company and this platform. My amazing friend, Amy Dunlap, shared this with me. And from the very beginning, I said yes. You saw Kim Wee, who is a global entrepreneur. She is really the reason why 3 started. Shannon, can you give me a thumbs up if you can see that? Okay, thank you. All right, so we're going to be talking about an entrepreneurial movement. This is our community of entrepreneurs who are driven by purpose, love, and contribution. We are all about people, platform, and purpose. And it's really interesting. You think about, oftentimes leadership. Sometimes these are just people that you see on a screen and you're like, you don't even know them. I've had the absolute pleasure of getting to know Daniel Piku. He actually is very good at volleyball. I don't know. I play volleyball. And so I enjoy getting to play volleyball with him and his wife, on these trips and this company. He's just a very giving person. I remember my first week working with Daniel. I had a conference call with 200 doctors. And I was kind of a little bit like, what am I going to do? 200 doctors. I need help. And he stepped in, helped me with that conference call. We have Dr. Dan Gubler, who's the chief scientist. He's the type of person who literally is very committed into helping this community grow. And we have Troy Moore, who's in our operations area, and making sure that these amazing products that you'll hear about are getting to the people that need them the most, and our distribution. So our mission is to provide a platform for entrepreneurs so that we can lead a life of purpose by inspiring others to do more, be more, and live more. We're in these markets. Okay. Like we just opened our pre-launch February the 20th. So that's exactly 1 year ago and 1 week ago. And think about that, 14 countries in the very first year. That's amazing. We're getting ready to go into Greater China. So you're going to hear more about that when I was talking about 1/3 of the population. Next week, March 7th through the 9th, we have a launch in Hong Kong. So think about that. It's going to be incredible just to see what we're doing here in this platform. That's just the beginning. We're just getting started, as they say. So our science comes from this. I have the absolute pleasure of introducing to you Dr. Fred Williams. Dr. Fred Williams is a guest speaker on tonight. He's been in the medical field for over 30 years now, Dr. Fred Williams.
Right.
And he's in the St. Louis area. He can share more with you about his background, but he is going to talk to you about our science and our product line. So take it away, Fred.
Well, thank you very much, Jessica. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And what I want to do is kind of tell you about the products and why I think they're so absolutely different than anything else that is on the market. But to give you just a very brief background about myself, I'm a practicing gastroenterologist. I've been practicing for over 30 years, and I've always had a keen interest in nutrition. I think one of the weaknesses of American medicine is we become heavily reliant on just pharmaceuticals and procedures. And yes, they have their place, appropriate medications can be life-saving, but they're usually reactive. They're not proactive. And what I really think is missing is we really need to get back to trying to keep people healthy and be really more concerned about health span as compared to lifespan, just how long you lead a healthy, vigorous life. And I think the most important thing about all that is number one, nutrition. And I think, unfortunately, that is something that has really been lost to a great extent in this country. But I think not only nutrition, but also all the other things well, sleep, stress reduction, exercise, spirituality, community, family, etc. In order to really have health and vitality, you have to have all of those. But I think, above all, you have to eat a healthy diet. The trouble is, if you look at our food today, even if you really do make a big effort to eat healthy food, lots of fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, healthy grains, you try to avoid all the processed food, the junk food. Our food is just not as nutritious as it was decades ago. The USDA has studies that have shown if you look at any given fruit, say a green pepper or an apple or whatever, and you compare the nutrient value, the various vitamins and minerals that are in that piece of fruit to compare to, say, 50 or 60 years ago, it is markedly decreased. And the reason for that is we're using the same fields over and over again, and we've just kind of leached out all the vital minerals. The uses of pesticides and herbicides and all disrupt the delicate nature of how bacteria and fungi and all help to get nutrients from the soil into plants. So the point is, even if you're eating healthy, you're not getting everything you need. And one thing I hear from a lot of doctors is say, oh, all you need to do is eat a healthy diet and you'll be fine. And I just absolutely disagree with that. I think you need to eat a healthy diet, but you need to take appropriate supplements. But that brings you to the next problem is, there's literally essentially an infinite number of supplement companies out there. And of course, everyone is going to tell you that they're the best. And so, why three? And I've used various supplements, recommended them to my patients over the years. But when I came across three, not too long ago, I realized that they were different. And as we like to talk about, first is exploration. They actually go around the world talking to natural healers in various parts of the world, looking at various plants and trying to come up with compounds, natural compounds that are going to have medicinal value. But they then take them back to the lab and they curate them. What that means is rather than just making a capsule that, say, has one healthy nutrient in, they put them all together. And I like to think of it as a symphony. Each particular instrument is beautiful in and of itself, but when you put them all together, you get so much more. That's where the real beauty is. And so they take these compounds, they curate them, they put them together in a very beneficial way. And the last thing that separates three from most other companies is their absorption. The problem with so many natural compounds is that they're actually very, very poorly absorbed from your intestinal tract. A common anti-inflammatory I think we've all heard of is turmeric. It actually has about an 8% intestinal absorption. So 92% of it kind of goes out the other end. But what three has done is we use 11 different advanced pharmaceutical absorption technologies that get these products from your gut into your cells. Because quite frankly, if the nutrient doesn't make it into the cell, it's really not going to do any good. And for my entire career, I have told people that old adage that you are what you eat. And I absolutely still believe that. But in reality, take it a step further, you are what you absorb. And so when you look at the history of this company, so much of it can be put at the feet of Dr. Dan Gubler. He's our chief scientific officer. He got his PhD in organic chemistry from the California Institute of Technology, which was one of the premier organic chemistry departments in the country, if not the world. He then went to work for 15 years in the pharmaceutical industry, working on these various cellular absorption technology for pharmaceuticals, things such as, how do you get chemotherapy into cells so it can be more beneficial? And somewhere along the line, he got this brilliant idea and said, why are we just using these absorption technologies for pharmaceuticals? Let's start using them for nutrients and nutraceuticals. And he himself has formulated over 70 nutritional supplements. He has been involved in 16 patents that have been granted or pending, and is also a very well-known health influencer. But this man is the real deal. He is a true scientist. I've had the pleasure of meeting him several times, and I think, sometimes we throw around those terms like brilliant very casually and overuse them, but this is truly a brilliant man who is leading a revolution in healthcare. To help Dr. Dan, as we like to call him, is our scientific advisory board. And one of the things I think is so wonderful about our board is that it's completely voluntary. Other than Dr. Dan being paid, of course, none of these advisory board members are paid. They do it because they believe in the products and they want to help the company to grow and get to more people. One of the problems in a lot of advisory boards is that the members can be very highly paid. And obviously, once you do that, you lose all objectivity. But again, that is not the case with our people. Next. So what I want to do, we have only 6 products, and I think that is a very positive thing. If you look at some of the other large nutraceutical manufacturers, they literally have dozens of products. And I can tell you, when I used to use those products, I would kind of sit there and scratch my head and say, which one do I want to use? But we only have 6, and each one of these in and of itself is a standalone product that has benefit for a certain given problem. But the beauty of this, again, using the analogy of a symphony, is when you put all 6 of them together is kind of when the magic happens. This really covers all aspects of health and vitality. And I'm going to go through these 6 products in just a moment, but one of the most important things I want to tell you is that all 6 of our products are in the physician's desk reference, which is now known as the prescriber's digital reference, which is the, so to speak, Bible for healthcare professionals for pharmaceuticals. So basically, if you want to look up any pharmaceutical, you just go to the PDR and you can read about it, learn, how it works, the potential side effects, etc. There are virtually no nutraceutical companies that have been able to make the grade and get into the PDR. Only 22 of the companies out of the thousands that are out there. But we are unique in that not only did we make it into the PDR, we are the only company to have every single one of our products in the PDR. And I think this is the ultimate proof of the incredible quality of the company and also the products, because you can't just call them up and say, hey, put my products in there. You have to go through a very stringent vetting process. So I think one thing is it's reassuring to me as a physician, but also, as I can tell you, as folks who will be talking to healthcare providers, this is one of the strongest things you can say to them is these products are in the PDR, and I think it's going to definitely change how they view them. So real quickly, to go through the 6 of them, I think our core product is Vitalite, which we like to think of as kind of a super multivitamin, but it's really so much more than that. First of all, the vitamins in this are naturally produced. I can almost guarantee you that if you look at whatever multivitamin you're taking right now, they are synthetic vitamins. And studies have shown synthetic vitamins just are not as functional as naturally produced ones. But it's not just that. There are actually 72 micronutrients, minerals, amino acids. There's also omega-3, 6, 7, and 9 fatty acids, digestive enzymes. There's a berry blend and also a fermented green blend. So you basically are getting phytonutrients from multiple different plant sources. So my feeling is anybody who's going to be taking the 3 products, whatever your end goal is, if you don't wish to take all of them, and some people may not, everybody should be on Vitalite, because this is kind of what fills in whatever gaps there may be in your nutrition. Next is collagen, which is our collagen product. As I think you all know, there is great interest in the country in collagen in terms of its support for not only skin, hair, and nails, but also people don't know it also supports a healthy immune system and joints. Why ours is different is, first of all, we use 5 grams, which is a lot of collagen compared to most products, and it's marine or fish collagen. And studies have shown that marine collagen is the most effective relative to, say, poultry or bovine. We have a very interesting system. You only take a packet of the collagen every day for 10 days, and then you give your body a rest for 20 days. And the reason for that is studies have shown if you take the collagen every single day, your body says, oh, I'm getting plenty of collagen, I'll just turn off my own production of it, and your own synthesis actually goes down. So we take this for 10 days, then give the body the chance to make its own. And one of the things that is in the product is pomegranate juice, which amazingly, pomegranate juice increases collagen production. It also has things such as vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, and other things that are very good for the skin and nails. Eternal is our next product. It's one of the favorites. This is kind of our anti-aging, antioxidant product. It has 200 milligrams of highly bioavailable resveratrol. Resveratrol is the compound in the skins of red grape that give, wine so many of its purported health benefits. It also has liposomal glutathione. Glutathione is probably the strongest antioxidant known. The problem with it is if you just swallow glutathione, virtually none of it's absorbed. But again, using liposomal technology, which is one of the 11 advanced delivery technologies, you can drive up the amount that actually gets into the cells. And in fact, most people, the only way you can get a fair amount of glutathione is to get an IV infusion, but we can make that a lot easier by just taking a packet of Eternal. It also has CoQ10, which helps with cellular energy. And one of the things a lot of people don't realize is if anybody's on a statin, they should be on CoQ10. And unfortunately, a lot of physicians still don't recommend this, but statins can markedly decrease the amount of CoQ10, which can affect cellular energy. So this will cover that base too. Revive is probably my favorite product. This is kind of our natural anti-inflammatory. We kind of call it a natural NSAID. It is made up of a number of different anti-inflammatories, including black cumin seed, boswellia, and curcumin, which is a turmeric derivative. And this really helps, especially for athletes, in terms of easing muscle stiffness, promotes exercise recovery, kind of maintains a healthy inflammatory status. But besides being very good for athletes, it's actually good for anybody who has any kind of an inflammatory condition. And quite frankly, if you look at most of the chronic illnesses that afflict people today, the majority of them, at least in part, have an inflammatory component. So any product that can bring down inflammation in your body is going to have a myriad of positive benefits. Purify is our detoxification product. It is very sad. Studies have been done that have shown that the average person has over 600 foreign chemicals in their bloodstream. And it's hard to believe, 600. Now, that doesn't mean that all of them are bad for you, but certainly a number of them are. And the problem is once you ingest them through food, water, breathing, whatever the case may be, they can be very difficult to eliminate from your body. And what Purify does is render these products in a way that they can be detoxified and removed by the 5 detoxification organs, which are the lungs, liver, colon, skin, and kidneys. So this is, I think, very valuable for all of us because we unfortunately today live in an extremely toxic environment. And last is Immune, which is our immune modulator. This does not substantially upregulate or downregulate the immune system. It just kind of keeps it at a happy medium. If you upregulate your immune system, that can give you risk for autoimmune diseases or inflammation or allergic reactions. On the other side, if your immune system is too weak, that can increase your risk of infections or cancer. So what this basically does is gives you a kind of a happy medium. It has vitamins A, C, D, E, zinc, selenium, quercetin, which is a good antihistamine, elderberry, and also has something called nanosilver, which can really help with gut function. So many people have poorly functioning guts because there's a lot of so-called bad bacteria in the gut. What nanosilver helps to do is rid the gut of these so-called bad bacteria. And so many people have found when starting on immune that just all those kind of bothersome gut symptoms they have very quickly start to get better. So we talked about absorption. This is, the true strength of 3 is that we have such high absorption. This was a study just showing at the far right, you can see an organic control. And if you look at the 6 products, every single one of them has a markedly elevated absorption relative to the control because of the advanced delivery technology. So as an example, as I said, Turmeric has about an 8% absorption. It's in our Revive, and as you can see there, that on the Revive, we've driven up to about a 30 to 35% absorption. So you have over a 3 times improved cellular absorption of the product, and that's true for many of the nutrients in all of the products. And the last thing, which I think perhaps is most strong, is this is an epigenetic study. And what this study shows is that in a test tube, in vitro, is that when you look at our products, they actually turn on good beneficial genes and turn off bad deleterious genes. You know, when I was in med school decades ago, we were kind of told that your genes are your destiny. You know, if your dad had a heart attack when you were 50, well, that's kind of what's going to happen to you. But we now know that's not true. We have actually a lot of impact on how our genes are expressed. And I think a very simple way to think of that is, you know, with a few exceptions, most people don't get lung cancer if you don't smoke or you're not exposed to secondhand smoke. But obviously, if you smoke, you have a much higher risk of lung cancer. So there's obviously compounds in cigarette smoke that are turning on cancer genes that would not have been turned on otherwise. And so what this study shows, and I know it's hard to go through it, it's very small, but it showed that in a test tube, our products turned, and I should say the level of the product in the test tube is what you'd expect to see in the bloodstream. They turned on anti-inflammatory genes. They increased antioxidant genes. They increased genes that deal with brain function and also cellular energy. So basically, all the good stuff was turned on, all the bad things were turned off. And this is really a striking study to have been done. And, you know, you can't find many other companies out there that can show you this kind of data. So I'm going to stop there, but just to say in summary, these are really unique products. I've never found anything like them. And I think we're going to talk a little bit now about the opportunity, but I think the important thing to remember is, yes, there is a great business opportunity here, but what you can be very, very comfortable with is that the products that you're going to be involved with or are involved with are of the highest quality, and they are, I think, absolutely helping anybody who uses them. So I will stop there and turn it over to Jessica.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. That was amazing. And I learned something each time I hear you talk. So thank you for that. And just like you said, this is a true testament to, you know, just putting the products in your body, seeing for yourself. I know this is just for me too. Like, I'm always that person that's like, let me try these for myself. Right. So I so appreciate you sharing that. And we appreciate everything you and your wife, Tina, you know, do for us at 3. Part of our team and everything. You guys are just amazing people and so blessed to be a part of this with you. So thank you. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about how literally, let me give you an example. Someone in the United States can literally send a link to somebody in Hong Kong. Someone in Hong Kong can take that same link, click on it, buy from 3, and the products are sent from the United States to that person in Hong Kong. And the person in the United States is the person that referred them to 3 and gets a retail commission. So literally that person in the United States, say if that's me, I'm not leaving my house. I'm literally using my cell phone to send a link to somebody. So it's just really incredible what we can do here. For North America, our retail commissions are 25%. They're paid the following business day. So that's really amazing too. I don't know about you, but you don't have to wait a whole month or a whole week. It's literally the next day. We also have preferred customer pricing as well. Get with the person that invited you to ask, you know, like, hey, which is the best way for me to get started? But preferred customer pricing basically means it's a membership. It's just like Costco or Sam's Club. You're paying $30 a year and you're receiving the pricing the same as anybody as members do. So it's just really, really incredible. Product introduction bonus. So that ranges anything from $25 to $350 based on the package that you select. Let me give you an example right now because we're in a very unique time. So you can, you know, ask the person that invited you for more details, but we literally are on the doorstep of opening up in Greater China. Our Hong Kong convention is March 7th through the 9th. So for people that, you know, get started with us, intro pack through the pro pack, great options there. You're going to save on the product. But we also have something very unique for those that get started with a business builder pack or a pro pack. And you can upgrade. More details coming soon with that launch March 7th through the 9th. But know that the people that have selected that business builder pack or pro pack will have first right to, we call a founders pack. So say, and for instance, I refer, one of my great friends is on here, Shannon. Shannon and I have linked arms together and working in 3 together. So say I introduce Shannon to a pro pack. She could start on a pro pack. That's a $300, $350 product introduction to me. She gets all of those products at her doorsteps. It's kind of like Amazon, right? Where she gets all those products sent to her doorstep. Team commissions. Team commissions, you have a left team and a right team. I like this. It's very simple. My kids understand. You have a number bond, right? Say if you add 20 people on the left and 20 people on the right, that's 40 people. They understand number bonds in kindergarten. So it makes sense for them. So when you have 900 points, that's 300 on one side, 600 on the other. That's a cycle. That's $35. We have volume. Let me give you an example here. We have a couple of people on my team, so I'm just going to use them as examples because they're real life. I like using real life examples. So say, for instance, I share with Dr. Rick. Dr. Rick is a functional medicine doctor and chiropractor in Overland Park, Kansas. He has these products on his shelves. His patients are doing phenomenal with these products. When Dr. Fred Williams was talking about immune, Dr. Rick can share lots of testimonials about that. So he shares those products with his patients. And then say, for instance, down the chain, later comes Shannon. Shannon joins. She's also a level 1 for me, but because she joins before or just after Dr. Rick, anything she does floats up to Dr. Rick as well. And so if you think about this, I was on a previous platform and one of my amazing friends, Gail Elliott, joined just after another friend of ours joined. And because of that, that had about a $45,000 a year difference in income because of that decision. So think about this. You have people who you have been thinking about. We're only 1 year old from our initial launch. So never let anybody not at least, I say that never leave a stone unturned. So if you think of someone, if they're on your mind, definitely reach out to them. I've been working, with Dr. Tony. He's on here. When I talked about, Daniel Piku and helping me with that call with 200 doctors, literally that was, before the pandemic. And so like, you just keep building relationships with people. You never know who the next person may be that joins your team. And 3 is that company that literally is still a baby in the industry. And so people haven't even heard of it yet. So what if you're the person to tell them? They're going to hear it somehow, right? If you have 10 people, we call it a happy 10, and then your bonus is 45, not 35 for that cycle. We have leadership matching. And Dr. Rick is on tonight. I always actually use him as an example because I know he has such an amazing personality. He is one of those people that everybody knows and trusts and likes, and he's got incredible business and incredible practice in Overland Park. So say, for instance, this is a very true, realistic example. Dr. Rick makes $100,000 this year in 3. He literally, just by sharing these products with his patients at a retail level, could do that. So I'm the person that referred Dr. Rick. So that's a level 1. So just from that referral, level 1 is $20,000 a year. So you better believe that I'm helping and I'm aligned with Dr. Rick to help him, right? So imagine if I had 10 Dr. Ricks, right? And those were all 20,000 times 10 is 200,000. So think about that. Level 2, happy 10 is 30%. So that would go to 30,000. Level 2, Dr. Rick refers another chiropractor. That chiropractor, there's chiropractors in almost every corner, right? Every little business center, there's a chiropractor typically in that business center. So think about that. Level 2 would be 15%, level 3, 10%, and then down on the way to 7 levels at 5%. Leadership, global leadership is 3% for 4-star and above. We also have an ability for that founders pool. So get with the person that invited you. There's going to be more on that as we're going into this Hong Kong launch, but there's lots of possibility there for profit sharing in the company. Rank advancement bonus. Rank advancement bonuses from 1-star to Royal Crown from $100 all the way to $250,000, and cash bonuses and tokens and reward certificates. We just announced a new rank at 3-star Pro. More details coming out with our launch in our event in Hong Kong. 3 ways to get started. We have retail customers. So that's literally just somebody like you would on Amazon. You go on Amazon, you buy something, it's sent to your door. Here you actually pay retail prices, which we're all used to paying retail, right? Like we do it all the time. We don't know it, but we do. Walmart, think about this, they sell to you retail, right? Preferred customer. So that's getting wholesale pricing. So that's like buying at what Walmart buys, and that's wholesale. They buy for themselves wholesale. So preferred customer, that's $30 a year. Brand ambassadors, the same thing. You buy wholesale. You pay that $30 a year. You get the prices at wholesale. For brand ambassadors, you also get a replicated website and an online back office. I told you at the beginning, I'm an author. I have my own website. And let me tell you, I was in corporate America when I built that website, and it takes time to edit that website. I don't wish it upon anybody. And so I so appreciate when 3 updates my website for 3, because they do all of that for me and they set it up for me. It's just an amazing thing. So I'm so appreciative of that. Choose a package. So you just basically get in where you fit in. Like, as I say, for some people, it's an intro pack. That's a couple of products. There's 3 products there, or you can build your own pack. If you're wanting to be a brand ambassador, you have to activate with 100 points or more in CV. Each product is in CV because we're in those 14 countries to keep it all, like everybody knows what the number is, right? And then we have a premium pack, business builder pack. If you really are thinking about starting a business or having income coming from 3, like as maybe I was in financial services, I told you at the beginning. And so I always talk to people about having multiple streams of income. People have real estate. Think about this though. My friend Amy, she was sharing last night that her daughter literally has $2,000 in inventory that she buys every week in her coffee business. This is literally inventory that you buy for the whole entire year, and you're active for the whole entire year in 3. At the Pro Pack, you save about $900 on the products. As you can see here, the numbers on how much collagen and eternal and everything you get. So it's a huge value. You also get a $100 token to use on further purchases. And you see here that you also get leveled up matching bonuses and things like that. So if you're thinking about, hey, like, what if I could just like, hey, have something on the side? When I started using these products, my family members call it a Jessica juice. The Eternal is like Jessica juice. Like, it gives me a glow. Like, you literally can be at an event with 3 people and you can see who uses Eternal. You can say, oh, that person uses it. They don't. They use it. They don't. Like, you can tell by their face, their skin. I was feeling my elbows, my arms last night. Like, they're so much softer. My neck is softer. The glow. I'm 42. People often think I'm younger than 42. My kids use this Immune. My daughter was homesick yesterday. She was using the Immune. I will definitely tell you that we've saved thousands of dollars from being at the doctor's offices and hospitals from having these products on hand. So it becomes very much part of our life. This is where we are, 4 stages of growth in business in general. So we are at that formulation phase, going into, looking at way before momentum. Like, we're not even the company that people know yet, right? So it's that first mover's advantage, like where I've always wanted to be in this industry of social e-commerce. I literally can be on my phone. My kids and I can travel to Thailand on a missions trip, and we can talk to missionaries about what we do because we're in Thailand. Like, it's so incredible what we can do here. So we're a social e-commerce company. So get back with the person that invited you to look at exactly what's going to be best for you. Talk to them about those things that we talked about, like Hong Kong and everything. If you're just wanting to start with products, just start with products. Start from where you're comfortable. But just know that like you want to have options, and this company gives you options. So tonight I have the pleasure of having a couple of testimonials. First up, we're going to share with you, and I'm going to have you meet my friend Shannon Hammer. Shannon is an integrative health. She's been studying from the Institute of Regenerative Health. Shannon, do you want to maybe share your background and share your testimonial with us tonight?
Sure. Thanks so much for having me. Yeah, and my friend Jessica here has been talking to me about these things for some time, and it took some a little elbow bending on her part to get me to bend my ear and listen, because I don't just choose anything for myself or my clients, because I am a regenerative healthcare practitioner in the Kansas City greater metro area, the suburb similar to her. And I do have clients all over the world, and it's nice having the option to have these things available to people outside of the US where I'm at, because I don't always have that option. We use so many biohacks, which is what I call these beautiful foods, to help get that into the absorption that we don't see in other foods that are available to us, even from the grocery store today, as Dr. Fred was talking about earlier. If we're not getting our nutrition through our food, how are we supposed to do that? Now, I myself have found that I was maybe lacking a little bit of that collagen, and I have really found that I was losing my eyelashes, and so now I have eyelashes again. It's been very nice being that, and my skin, hair, and nails have definitely benefited from that. Also, just knowing, having been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis and Sjogren's syndrome, those are all connective tissue issues, which the collagen will help those conditions immensely. And I found that myself. So I thank you very much, Jessica, for bringing this into my life. And then I'm able to share it on with other clients, and just knowing that they're able to easily access things. It's not overwhelming having only 6 different options here, and being able to utilize them all in your daily routine. One of the things I really do love is the immune for acute situations for myself and my clients, is that nanosilver is amazing to get things that are not serving our human cells out of our body, not just within our gut, but throughout our entire body. There's a lot of things in there, like viruses, and especially, and other things that we maybe get on overload and create kind of a storm and a lot of inflammation, but there's just so many ways here that inflammation is basically all disease is coming from some type of inflammation. So being able to lower that inflammation and then be able to repair better, because when you have chronic inflammation, you're not able to repair as well, kind of almost damaging yourself. So being able to lower that inflammation and remove some things from our body that are not serving us is really great. Getting nutrition into our cells so that our cells can work and our immune system can work properly, given the correct environment. That's what regenerative health is that we have the ability within our own bodies to repair from the cellular level, given the correct environment. That's that epigenetic, that they were speaking of earlier. So when you're talking about lifestyle, when we're talking about epigenetics, we can't always control everything in our life, like our food and water and air. Sometimes there are things in there that we can't control. That's why we need these things to help us become stronger and be able to work more properly within our body. So I just thank you so much. And it's just been a blessing to me and my family and my clients.
Thank you, Shannon. Yes, she's joking when she said arm twisting. I'm just that person. I'm like, I love people where they're at, right? And I'm that patient person, right? I know eventually when it's their time, they'll be interested to come back and hear more. And it's a gift, right? It's a complete gift. Next up, Dr. Rick, do you have time? I know he's a busy guy. He's so busy. I was like, Dr. Rick, please, can you share with us just kind of your experience, or patients that you have, what's been helpful for you?
Yeah, hi Jessica. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can.
Okay. So we have a couple products that we use exclusively. We have several products that, or several patients that come in and they're lacking just core nutrients. So when we do a lot with digestive health, and so if you're lacking those core nutrients, it's really hard to get in and repair the digestive system. So the Vitalite is a product that we'll use every time with those patients. We like the Eternal just because of the glutathione, especially in that product, is very important. Glutathione's important for a lot of things, but detoxification is really, it's essential to have that. So that's a great product. You can carry it with you. We do intermittent fasting or fasting programs with some of our patients, and we never do a dry fast because, like I said, some of our patients are lacking those raw nutrients. They don't have anything to build off of. So we use the Eternal as basically a nutritional supplement while they're doing that. So it works really well. And you mentioned the immune. We use that all the time. In fact, I have a patient tomorrow who just had some dental work done, and we'll be taking that over to them so that they can get a little boost and get back on their feet faster. So
Yes, awesome. Thank you, Dr. Rick. We so appreciate you.
sure. Thanks. You too.
All right. And Dr. Rick is in Overland Park, Kansas area. Like I mentioned, he's a functional medicine and chiropractor. So Mary Jo Kiefer. Mary Jo. How
Hi
are
there.
you, Jo?
Greetings from Florida. So we've got the middle and the West Coast covered, and the East Coast. But I am so glad that Gail Elliott had called me. She had seen a post of mine on Facebook about how my knees were hurting. We were on a cruise. We love traveling. My husband is retired Air Force, and I'm 66 and was semi-retired. But when she saw that post of mine, she called me and said, I think I have the perfect product for you. And I have known her for many years, and I trust her. And she said that I think this product, Revive, would help your knees. And within about 5 days, I was able to walk without the pain of, I was peg legging up and down the stairs. And that knocked that out. And when she told John and I about all the products, we decided that we would try all of them. And so, because we've been trying everything that you could buy at Costco or Sam's Club or Walgreens or whatever. So we had all kinds of bottles everywhere, and I can't swallow a pill. I would get nauseous when I took anything. And everything that we have tried through 3 is so easy to swallow. And I feel the difference almost right away. So we're on all the products, but I had been in direct sales and network marketing for about 20 some odd years, and I wasn't looking for a business. But when we found the products that we love, and we knew that there was as many people in the situations that we were, his bad back, my knees, gaining weight, no energy, I just knew that I could help a lot of people. And so now this is helping to financially fund our travels. And so I love the fact that I can work from anywhere and nobody knows where I am. And so they say we're in the witness protection program because nobody knows where we are, but we can still operate completely. So I just want to thank Dr. Williams for all that you've done for us, because it, like Jessica said, we learn something every time you speak. And Jessica, you did a fabulous job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary Jo. Yes, Mary Jo and John are always like traveling. They're like what I want to be when I grow up. Like I want to be able to take a cruise, just like it's just like driving to from one side of the state to the other. They're like, oh, I'm going on another cruise. I'm on another cruise. And I love that, Mary Jo, everything you said. And every time I see you, you look younger and younger, like your face. It's like,
Folten,
yeah.
Eternal. Yeah.
Yeah, your collagen pictures, your before and afters are amazing. So we
Thank
so
you.
appreciate you. And I definitely concur. Shannon, Dr. Rick, Dr. Fred Williams, Mary Jo, thank you all for sharing with us tonight. It's a complete honor to be a part of this company and this movement across the world. It really is. And when these products, you know, we get them in our bodies, you actually use them, they work. It's amazing. Like it sounds so simple, but it's like, okay, you get your box and you use it, they work. So it's just amazing to see all the testimonials and hear them. from people that you get to see on Zoom, and then sometimes you get to see them in person. So get back with the person that invited you tonight and just ask them, where you can get more information. They can send you a landing page or videos. You can get your questions answered. We are going to actually open it up for questions, assuming that we have, just people that want to ask questions. If you do have a question, just come off of mute. We'll do one at a time. If you do have a question, go ahead and ask away. And if not, we'll see you next time. Sometimes we answer all the questions during the Zoom. So one good question I've heard before is, if I want to actually look up the ingredients, where can I check that out? And that's actually on our landing page. We have a landing page for both traditional everyday life, and then we have a landing page for medical professionals. And so if you want to know exact ingredients, we have a catalog with every single product on that landing page. So the person that invited you can send that to you. We also have those results from the the epigenetic study and our absorption study on there. We have videos from Dr. Dan. So all of that's there. We also have recordings from a Zoom similar to this one that you can go on and listen to. So those are some of the common questions. If you have questions on compensation, we really just hit like the basics, but we have a deep dive compensation video as well. So those are some of the main questions I usually get.
Hey, so I'm new to this, and I kind of just stepped in from soccer practice. This is David Strahan. My wife was introduced by Chelsea Jenkins, and I stepped in whenever you were speaking on inflammation in the body, and we've done so. I'm in direct sales right now. I'm an international sales director for a thermal imaging camera company. So we actually build and manufacture cameras to image the human body and look for thermal pattern differences, different cases like oral systemic. We have about 2,000 thermal cameras out in use in clinics for chiropractors through Breast Thermography International and various other certified chiropractors to look for, case use, not just in humans, but as well in pets, large pets where they're using laser therapy. Because a pet can't tell you if a horse leg is lame, they can't tell you that they're hurting. You just know that there's a problem there. They treat it with the lasers, and they use our cameras to do, case and proof that it's, reducing the inflammation. Because infrared, we're seeing the first 1,000th of an inch of emitted energy at the surface of an object. So when we're looking at the human body, we see thermal differences. So we do a lot in the medical side, and we did a ton of business during COVID for fever screening, where we were taking average of 4 pixels from each tear duct, because that's the inner canthus is the closest to internal or core body temperature that we could get. I was just kind of thinking that being said, would there be some interest in having, some case use scenarios where there are persons with known inflammation, like the one, I believe Jeanette that just spoke, and mentioned her knees, hurting. They were likely inflamed. They were likely had some, delta temperature difference from one knee to the other, which alludes to, hey, this area has a problem. Maybe this supplement needs to be taken, to reduce inflammation, to this area, or inflammation as a whole, or even like you said, oral systemic, we can tell
David.
oral health.
Yeah, that's a great question. I definitely think, getting with the person, like you said, that invited you, she could get with, like leaders in the company, like Amy. I believe Gail would also be a direct upline for you as well. So that would be a great conversation to have with them. And so share some of those ideas with them, because I know that would be something that would be of interest, and they can kind of point you in the right direction. Okay. So thank you for asking that. Great question.
All right.
Yeah.
No problem. Thank you.
Have a great night. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.
You as well.
Awesome. Any other questions?
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to, I forgot to say something. So
Yeah,
I no
go for
longer
it,
wear
Shannon.
eyeglasses. I no longer wear eyeglasses. So, glutathione does some amazing things. As we age, we lose that. And so bringing that back in, like I don't wear eyeglasses anymore, and I'm 52. And I was also in eye health for over 20 years. So, it's some of the things that I learned during that time. I've had to unlearn. And just even sunglasses, I really don't wear unless it's I'm on the water or the snow or something where it's just glaring, but not for safety reasons. It's not for that. So, and just being able to see small print and different things like that, and not having to like move my arms away or have even astigmatism things going on in my vision, the visual disturbance, even with I have some muscle tendency issues that I had. So those things all cleared up. And I just, it was just part of that, again, the tissue that we were talking about, also with the collagen. So, but yeah, so I just wanted to throw that out there because I mean, that's pretty big. And I didn't even realize, I just sat down to like do my paperwork at the end of the month and I was like, oh, I better get some glasses. Well, where are they? I don't know. I forgot. Like, when's the last time I used them? Oh, wait a minute. It's been like over a week. So it was a residual that I didn't even expect to happen. So I just thought I would
Yeah,
throw that in.
that's great, Shannon. I'm so glad you shared that because I was thinking that earlier when you were sharing. So thank you for sharing that with us. I know it's like all these bonuses that you have from using these products, like, oh, great, my skin's gonna look amazing. My nails are gonna grow. My hair like is coming back. I know like for you talked about your hair growing in and stuff. And then you're like, oh, my eyes, my knees, like you start to see all these other side benefits from using the products, and people start to notice around you that something's different. They're not like quite sure, like, what are you doing? Something's different. And so like that's just the opportunity to say, yeah, I would love to share with you more. It's just something I've been using. And so we're so happy to see you tonight, to be able to support you as you start using these products and go about this journey. And we hope each of you have a great night, no matter where you are. We love you. Whether this is for you, it's not for you, we love you still, no matter where you are. And get back with the person that invited you so you can get started, get your products ordered and have them on their way. So you can start experiencing these amazing benefits too. If you have a specific goal, income goal, let your friend know that, like, let them know. I know when I first ordered my products, I was like, Amy, I want to go big. And so I have some big goals. I'm that person that has big goals, but not everybody has big goals. Like some people are just like, hey, an extra $300 a month would be great. An extra $500 a month would be great. Like groceries are expensive. Like I would like to be able to pay for groceries or pay to get my nails done or whatever that is for you. If you're trying to replace an income, it may be different for every single person. Maybe you're just catching up on some retirement funds that maybe if the market have gone down. Maybe with different things, you're just trying to play catch up. Especially the last 4 years, people are playing a lot of catch up. So think about that, and just, be a people blesser. These products bless people. This business blesses people. This community, like the best product we actually have has not even been talked about yet. And it's the community, the supportive community. Mary Jo and I have known each other for over 4 years. In this community, like we get to see each other on these amazing trips now and these amazing conventions that we go on. Dr. Fred Williams and I met in St. Louis. I get to see him, on these business meetings and events, call him a friend. Shannon and I get to work together more now than ever. Cheryl's in, Colorado. We get to work together every single day, and Dick's in Texas, and just amazing, amazing people across the world. So we so appreciate being on tonight. And thanks for sticking around for questions. I hope you guys have an amazing night. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye, thanks.